Hello, and welcome to the Your Information Experience session. At this time, all participants are in a listen-only mode. If you have a question at any time during the presentation, please type it into the Q&A box on your screen. I would now like to turn the conference over to Sarah Lesway-Ball. Please go ahead, ma'am.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. As Patricia mentioned, I'm Sarah Lesway-Ball, and I'm a Senior Program Manager in the Information Experience, or IX, team at Juniper. I have 13 years of experience as a technical communicator at various global networking companies, such as Lucent Technologies and Marconi. Since joining Juniper in 2004, I have grown my passion for user-centered content, first working as a writer on the Junos E and Junos subscriber management teams, then contributing to the overall content architecture for IX, and now as the full-time manager of our customer experience programs. I have an honors BA from Queen's University in Canada and an MSc in Communications Management from Simmons College in Boston. If we have met in the past, hello again. Joining me today is Ben Jackson, the Vice President of the Information Experience Organization. Ben is a very experienced leader in the information experience field. Prior to coming to Juniper, he was Senior Director of the Server and Cloud Division Information Experience Organization at Microsoft, and he was also a Director of Content and Technical Documentation at Cisco Systems. Prior to that, he was a Technical Documentation Manager at Oracle Corporation. Ben holds an MS in Information Management from the University of Washington, Seattle, and a BA in English from Southwestern University at Georgetown, Texas. Ben and I are thrilled to be here today to talk to you, our customers and partners, and are pleased to share with you the new Juniper Information Experience. Ben will describe what information experience is and what it means to us, and then I will walk you through some of the key deliverables for our information experience vision: Pathfinder, Prescriptive Documentation, and Partnering. So over to you, Ben.
Thank you, Sarah. Ben Jackson here. And as Sarah mentioned, I'm the Vice President of Information Experience at Juniper Networks. My organization is responsible for the development and delivery of technical documentation at Juniper. That's the installation, design, configuration, and operations content that our customers need to build the best with Juniper. We also deliver applications such as Pathfinder to help our customers find the information they need. So what is information experience? It's more than technical documentation. Information is the lifeblood of most organizations, and technical information is a crucial interface between us and a product. So the term information experience is about the information we develop and deliver, and it's about the experience our customers have with that information, accessing it, using it, and interacting with it. Our job in the Information Experience Group at Juniper is to go beyond the traditional technical manual to deliver a remarkable information experience that gives you the answers you need when you need them in a seamless interface. Over the past 2 years, we've engaged with our customers and partners to listen to their experiences with Juniper's technical documentation. We take feedback very seriously, and so I read everything that comes in, from survey responses to feedback ratings on our website. Based on what you've told us, we're making content improvements and information delivery innovations that are some of the best in the marketplace. A couple examples of the improvements and innovations we're delivering are Pathfinder and prescriptive content. Pathfinder is a suite of information applications that helps you find information more quickly. And prescriptive content is a set of new information products that help you put our products to work so you can build the best with Juniper. In a moment, Sarah will go into more detail about these two innovations. Partnering with customers is also a vital focus for our organization, as we want to hear from you about what's working, what's not working, and how we can improve your experience with Juniper. This is the beginning of Juniper's commitment to deliver a remarkable information experience. Please take a look at our offering on juniper.net/documentation and let us know what you think. Thank you so much for your time and attention, and I'll now turn this back over to Sarah.
Thank you, Ben. As Ben mentioned, Pathfinder is one of our critical innovations for helping to deliver a remarkable information experience to you. Pathfinder is essentially our information experience hub for Juniper. It enables you to get the answers you need in a few clicks. You can log into Pathfinder with a Juniper account at pathfinder.juniper.net. Feature Explorer enables you to see the features in a software release and compare releases, which is critical when you're planning deployments. If you're an operations engineer and you need to find an operational command to troubleshoot your network at 3 a.m., use Cli Explorer and simply search on the command name. It's simple. Content Explorer is another way of getting to our documentation. It enables you, like Feature Explorer, to search and filter by your documentation release. It also enables you to look for all the documentation related to a hardware platform. Let's go into a little more detail about Feature Explorer because I know that many of you are probably interested in this for planning. As I mentioned, Feature Explorer enables you to explore Junos OS and Screen OS software feature information. It helps you to easily find the right software release and hardware platform for your network. With Feature Explorer, you can explore features by the software release, by hardware platform, or by the feature family. So, for example, if you want to see all of the features related to switching, you can do that. You can access Feature Explorer at pathfinder.juniper.net. Content Explorer enables you to get to the documentation that you need for that release or for that product. So for example, let's say that you have looked at Feature Explorer and you know that release 12.3 is the one that you want to upgrade to. You may want to look at all of the documentation for that. You can choose your product, so for example, MX series. You can choose to look at all of the design content related to that product. So if you are considering an upgrade, you can look at the network architectures related to that product and that release, 12.3. In addition, when you are in Content Explorer, you can download all of the PDFs related to a release. This is very helpful if you want to look at various documents and various PDFs. You could choose any one of these tasks or multiple tasks and see all of the PDFs related to that. Cli Explorer is our first portal to have all of our statements and commands for Junos OS in one place. The UI is clean and simple. You can filter the results by the software release, by the products, or you can even type into the search field. For example, if you want to see all of the statements and commands related to costs. Like Content Explorer, this application reduces the amount of time that you need to spend navigating our site or the search results. So please check out all of our applications at pathfinder.juniper.net. So even though we are innovating around Pathfinder and the applications that are supported by it, we know that once you get to our content on juniper.net/documentation, you might want some more accessibility tips. We understand that many of you come to our site from Google. So we're going to share a few Google tips to help you target your search results to get exactly what you need on Juniper. The first tip that we have is we recommend that you use operators in your queries. Using quotation marks enables you to execute exact phrase searches, such as data center fabric. In these results, you will see only direct references to data center fabric, including an ad from Juniper and an explanation of data center fabric in Wikipedia. Use the cite operator when searching on Google to restrict your search results to Juniper Networks content, such as MPLS site:/juniper.net. In these results, you see MPLS documentation from Juniper, including configuration information and a Day 1 guide, and I'll talk a little bit about that later in the webcast. Use minus signs to exclude words that appear in your search results, but aren't relevant to the information that you want. For example, let's say you want information about mobile IP at Juniper, but you are using products other than Junos to implement it. Type mobile IP Juniper minus Junos. In these results, you see results for steel-belted radius. Use the in-URL operator when you want to search within a specific URL or website directory, such as Junos BGP neighbor peer in URL Junos 12.1. We strongly encourage you to use this operator to target your search because by default, Google ranks releases with frequent hits higher in the search results. So the content shown might not be the release you want. In this case, we are getting all 12.1 hits on the documentation, including the Junos release notes for 12.1 at the bottom. You can use multiple operators to execute very targeted searches. This example looks complicated. SRX firewall filter configuration in URL Junos 12.1 in URL techpubs site juniper.net. But what it really means is that we are looking for firewall filter configuration information on the SRX for Junos release 12.1 within the techpubs site only on juniper.net. The results that we receive are once again the release notes, a configuration guide, and some feature support guidelines, which provide you with information about supported features in the release. I hope you find these examples useful. We also recommend that you save your search preferences with Google. Google will store your search preferences in a cookie, which you can set on the page, including the default number of search results displayed per page. The default is 10, but you can set up to 100 to see even more results. You can also set safe search filters and your language and location preferences. We recommend that you go to google.com to see more information about operators and other advanced settings. So let's say you've landed on a page at juniper.net. It's the page that you want, and you are wondering how you can easily navigate to all of the other content related to that topic. We have a few tools on our content pages that enable you to do just that. The first one that I want to highlight to you is our breadcrumbs. We've enhanced our breadcrumbs so that when you choose the firewall filters for EX9200 switches link, you will get a drop-down list. In that list, it will give you all of the parent pages for this topic so that you can navigate up to the guides that reference this particular content page. So for example, this example about configuring a rate limiting filter based on destination class, that's included in the firewall filters guide. It's also included in other guides when you do the drop down. That's really helpful when you want to see how this content page relates to other documentation guides. The supported platforms box enables you to see the devices supported for this particular content page. You can also link back to all of the content related to that device. So for example, if you picked the EX series or the PTX series, you would get to all of the content related to those devices. Note that the devices shown in this box reflect the devices supported in the Junos OS release. So for example, in the Junos 13.2 release, that's for routing devices. So you would see routing devices only when you were on a content page for that release. The related documentation box is one of the most powerful ways for you to see more. So it gives you all of the access, it gives you access to all of the content related to this particular content page. Similar to supported platforms, you'll see relevant links grouped by device. Use the drop-down release filter on the top of the page to easily navigate to the content for your release. All of the available releases are listed. If the content that you are looking for is quite recent, for example, we've just authored it for Junos 13.2, you may only have a few releases listed in this box. You can also get to all of our applications, such as the Cli Explorer and the Content Explorer, from the left navigation pane. I also want to highlight that we have a glossary which explains industry terminology as well as Juniper terminology available from this left navigation pane. Okay. Did you know that you could share content on social media, such as LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook, or you can just email it to your colleagues? The top part of our pages include a handy share functionality. In addition, you can add our pages to your favorites menus in your browser using the asterisk option, or select an external bookmarking program. Click Add This to see more sharing and bookmarking options. Did you know that you can even pin our content to Pinterest? Maybe you already have a board for your sample topology diagrams. You can print any content page on our website. Use the print option at the top of the page. This is a great way to print a PDF of a single page rather than downloading a large guide. I find this option helpful if I want a PDF of a procedure so that I can annotate it for my specific use using Adobe Reader. All of our content pages have a downloads box on the right that enables you to access the relevant guides. So if you did want all of the information related to MPLS, you could download it from this box. Remember those PDFs that we just discussed? In the coming months, we are reorganizing our content to provide you with in-depth, consistent guides. We have restructured and retitled our guides so that you can easily choose what you need. It's much more intuitive. We also have some handy mapping files to see how your old guides map to content in the new guides. Check it out for the SRX 12.1 X45 release and the Junos 13.2 release for routing devices. However you access our content, we hope that you will notice that we are going beyond the 1,000-page manual that describes everything that a product can do. Instead, you will find examples and recommendations to help you with a task. As Ben shared, we like to call this prescriptive documentation, and it really means that we are telling you the best way to build with our products, excuse me. We are expanding our Day One library. We know that it is incredibly popular with customers, so let me tell you a little bit more about what we're doing. We now have 3 titles: the Learn About books, Day One, and This Week. They all give you varying levels of information to get you up and running with a Juniper technology or solution, from basic to extensive. We cover topics such as QoS or COS, Layer 2 technologies, software-defined networking, and data center switching. As I mentioned, our smallest book in this series is the Learn About. It's a 7 to 10 page primer on a technology and how Juniper has implemented it. We just released one about secure VPNs for our security audience. The Day One guides and the This Week series are a little bit longer than the Learn Abouts. They give you more information and some examples for everything you need to know to get up and running with a technology or an implementation like SDN. Also, you'll see on the right that we are doing a new poster that gives you lots of Juniper resources, not just with Juniper IX, but beyond, and we're doing those on a quarterly basis. All of these you can download for free if you are a JNet member. So we encourage you to become a JNet member and check them all out. We have quite a library. It's juniper.net/day1. Okay, so we can't leave this webcast without giving you some tips for actually how to use our documentation as well as the software. So let's say you learned in a day one guide that there's a certain term that you can use that will best optimize your policy framework, but it requires that you modify one of your existing terms. To find all instances of the term that you want to change, use the Show Match Parameter Display Set command in configuration mode. It's then possible to use the Replace Pattern command to replace one term with the other. This is a powerful tool, so be absolutely sure before you commit. Sometimes you will modify a few parameters in one configuration and you want to copy them to another. Use the Show Compare command to identify differences in two configurations. You will see the differences noted with plus signs. Then use the Load Patch Terminal command to patch the new parameters into the new configuration. For further tips and examples about how to customize our sample configurations in your network, we recommend that you check out the CLI User Guide and the Day 1 Guide for Junos tips, techniques, and templates. You can get the Day 1 Guide on juniper.net/day1, and the CLI User Guide is available from juniper.net/documentation. Customers and partners have told us that they require special documentation, more in-depth documentation, such as guidelines for planning and for deployment, so that they can effectively implement Juniper products and solutions in today's networks. We have responded with design and implementation guides, or DIGs as we like to call them, which offer validated designs and Juniper recommended configurations. We have delivered a DIG for Broadband Edge, and this fall we're slated to deliver a few more that will cover various reference architectures. You can check them out at juniper.net/documentation. Another popular request from our user community has been for NCEs, or network configuration examples. Network configuration examples are standalone, largely multi-platform, end-to-end, step-by-step configuration examples. They are typically based on real-life use cases, and they have configuration and operational verification steps. Our IX team has produced 82 of these examples already, and we have a goal to add many more NCEs this year. You can get to them directly at juniper.net/NCE. So here is another tip for how you can best use our examples and apply them to your network. Did you know that one of the standard features of a step-by-step procedure in one of our examples is the CLI configuration section? It enables you to quickly implement the configuration you see in the example on your device. For example, in Junos, you can copy the set statements from this section into your own configuration file for customization in a text editor, or directly from the example into the terminal window for the device. You must be in configuration mode to copy the set statements into the terminal window. When customizing the set statements in a text editor, be sure to remove any noticeable line breaks before you copy them into the terminal window. Sometimes text editors like Word have hidden operators that you inadvertently paste into the terminal window, causing issues at commit time. We recommend that you perform a few trial copy and paste operations if you are copying from a text editor. Troubleshooting. I know our operations attendees will appreciate this, and many of you are logging into the Knowledge Center, which is formerly known as the Knowledge Base, to get up-to-date troubleshooting information for your network. We are now making it easy for you to access KB articles that are relevant to your product and the feature that you're reading about. When you're on one of our content pages, check out the Troubleshooting tab and try it out. You will be prompted to log into the KB for secure content, and we're actively improving the links that you receive on this page. Many of you have told us that you like to learn visually, and so we have responded with over 20 videos that show you how to configure something on the router. It shows you how to install hardware modules, and also how you can develop a network based on one of our examples. We embed these within our documentation, and you'll see them on the content pages, but we also have an IX channel on the Juniper Networks YouTube channel. So just when you go to YouTube, search for Juniper Networks and you'll be able to see the Information Experience channel. So partnering, this is my favorite part of the webcast. As Ben mentioned, we are committed to delivering the enhancements and the innovations that you need to have an optimal information experience with Juniper. We want to hear about what you need, and your partnership is crucial for evolving our vision for IX. Innovation, as Ben and I have shared, is very important to us, but content accuracy is paramount. If you find an issue, we encourage you to make your voice heard, regardless of what the problem is. You need more information, you cannot download the content you need, or anything else, please let us know. We are responding. In the past year, we have closed 75% of the issues reported by you, our users, within 30 days of finding out about them. You may be wondering when you get onto our site how you can find your navigation path more easily. We are now offering an IX site tour page that provides answers to your questions. We recommend that you take the tutorial and move over to the Tips tab to find more information and more tips than what I've shared today. We also address some of your frequently asked questions, so that's why we need to hear from you. You can check out the site tour at juniper.net/IXtour. And as I mentioned, we want to hear your feedback. The best way to get it to us is to fill out the 5-star feedback system that's available on every page of juniper.net/documentation. If you leave us your email address, a writer from the Information Experience team will respond to you personally within 48 hours to let you know how we will address your feedback. If you're excited about what you've heard today and you want to help drive the future information experience at Juniper, we encourage you to join the International Content Advisory Board. We have 61 members from around the globe. They're networking professionals at various service providers, enterprise companies, and also partners. And as you can see, they represent many of our major organizations. These ICAB members receive early previews for the innovations and the enhancements that we're making. For example, when we have a new Pathfinder application, the ICAB are the first group of customers that get to see it. When we have a new Learn About doc, the ICAB members are the first people who get to see it. We have used feedback from this group to shape many of the prescriptive documents that you see. Being a member is not an extensive time commitment. Twice a year, we hold online meetings and surveys, and we are always available on JNet for online discussion 24/7. We always offer gifts for participation, so we encourage you to register today at icab@juniper.net.